What's going on, everybody? I'm Margot Jordan from one of the leading vacation rental platforms, RentalTrader. For today's video, I'm going to be discussing purchasing a fixer-upper property with plans to transform it into the perfect vacation rental. Nice. We'll be talking about everything that you need to consider before buying, as well as how to estimate the costs associated with a fixer-upper. Then we're gonna go through some of the pros and the cons of purchasing a fixer-upper. Stay tuned. All right, first, let's talk about everything you need to take into consideration before taking the big leap and buying a fixer-upper. Number one is your own limitations. How big of a project are you willing and capable of taking on? Next is the location of the property. Ideally, you want the fixer-upper to be in an area where there's a high demand and low supply. It's also best if it's near restaurants, nightlife, tourist attractions, and local events. Gosh, I love those. Oh, hey, Bill! Another thing to consider is your budget. Keep in mind that the vast majority of fixer-uppers end up going over budget. Now, you'll also need to think about plans for payment. How much do you have saved for the down payment, and what kind of loan will you get? The final factor to think about is whether you want to hire a team to work on the fixer-upper with you, or if you want to do everything all on your own. Now, if you are hiring a team, you're gonna need to find true professionals who know what they're doing so that everything is done correctly and by the book the first time. Not the second, not the third, the first. You know how it is. The truth is that it's extremely difficult to estimate how much a fixer-upper will end up costing. Often, the budget for repairs and renovations changes quite a bit as the project goes on. However, something that can help you figure out the extent of the house's problems ahead of time is to have specialized home inspections done. These can include past inspections, sewer line scope and septic tank inspections, and thermal imaging. One way to cut back on expenses is to identify projects that you can DIY. That's right, do it yourself, baby. This mostly refers to cosmetic fixes rather than larger issues like structural damage, which will definitely need to be fixed by a professional. Note that you will need to pay for various permits, which can be pricey depending on your exact situation. Another thing that you need to remember is that you should not buy a home that has structural damage unless you are getting it at a very steep discount. You should also have a binding written estimate for repairs, ensure that you're pre-approved for a loan, and include inspections contingencies when buying a home with major damage. Now, the most obvious advantage of buying a fixer-upper is that it comes at a lower sale price. We got that much. But the thing to watch out for is spending more on renovations than you saved buying the property. Another pro of fixer-uppers is that you can actually enjoy lower property taxes, at least for a few years, before another assessment takes place. Of course, fixer-uppers are totally customizable, so you can create the ideal vacation rental for your target market. You can also enjoy value appreciation, meaning that you can sell the home for much more than you paid for it in the future. Now let's go ahead and get into the drawbacks associated with buying a fixer-upper. First, you're going to be spending a lot of time, effort, and moolah on this project, and you are not gonna see profit right away. Heads up, coming through! Oof. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh boy. Another potential con of buying a fixer-upper is that you are likely to run into unexpected issues as the renovations go on. This means that your budget and your timeline for renovations are both likely to change. Local laws and restrictions can pose a problem for you as well. This is especially true if the property is located in a historic area. And finally, the house is going to be vacant for quite a while before any guests can stay in it. If your timeline goes longer than originally planned, this could even mean missing out on peak season for the first year that you own the property. All right, y'all, I hope this video helped you determine whether buying a fixer-upper is worth it for you. Hey, have you ever purchased a fixer-upper to use as a vacation rental property? Well, if so, what was your experience like? I would love to know. Please tell me in the comments below. Hey, and while you're at it, let me remind you to give this video a nice big thumbs up. Yeah, and hit that subscribe button if you're feeling adventurous. This has been RentalTrader, and thank you so much for watching. See you next time.